Richard Humphrey is an inmate in Ohio, and recently he noticed something at the prison that he's at. It turns out that the prison was allegedly showing pirated films like Ride Along and Wolf of Wall Street. Now, he knew this because he actually ran 2 different websites that shared pirated material. So he felt that it was a little hypocritical for them to put him in prison for 29 months for having these pirated websites, when at the same time, the prison that's supposed to rehabilitate him is also showing pirated films.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is he actually notified the prison ward about this, and or warden, I should say, and she acknowledged it. So she said that, hey, you know what? I'm noticing that this is an issue, and I'm going to look into it, and we'll see what happens. So I like that response occurred. But what do you think about prison showing pirated material?
I know why you're saying that to me.
No, I'm not.
No, I know. Because I have this reputation as being okay with piracy, not the Somali type, the digital type. I am not going to implicate myself any more than I already have. But I will say I understand why the prisons are doing this. If I had to guess, and this is based off of no actual information, but if I had to guess, I would say that the prison's entertainment budget is probably slim. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, a conservative will hear me say that and hear that I don't like that, and they'll think, well, you know, fuck them. They went to jail. They don't deserve anything. Screw them. They can live in hell for the next 10 years, which is fine unless you're a prison guard who has to deal with angry, unruly prisoners who just might be a little bit easier to deal with day to day if they can watch Ride Along or Wolf of Wall Street, which I didn't see either of them. I don't know if they're worth watching, but yeah, I think that maybe we could give a little bit of money to the prisons so they don't feel the need to pirate these materials.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Look, we have so many issues with prisons in the United States that, you know, this is not high on the list of priorities. Mm-hmm. But again, it kind of goes to the larger issue of what prisons are supposed to be for and how they usually fail at it. And it's supposed to be for rehabilitation, right? Of course, there's the element of punishment. I'm not trying to discount that, but it's crazy that you're trying to rehabilitate someone for running websites with pirated material, and by rehabilitating them, you show them pirated movies.
Yeah.
So it shows you what a joke the whole notion of rehabilitation is in the U.S.
Well, and also, okay, I'm going to implicate myself, and also kind of what a joke the piracy laws are. Like, I understand that stealing is stealing, but I think that a lot of people watching this are going to say that it just feels different. It feels less like there's a victim, like there's a theoretical victim. Like if you stab someone, that person got stabbed, they're a victim. But if you duplicate materials and create a new one, it does seem a little bit less like traditional crime. Like I don't think, these prisoners, by the way, are unlikely to go to theaters and watch these movies. I would assume they're not going to get out to do that. And so is any revenue being lost?
I mean, well, what I also wonder about is, does it make sense to put someone away for 29 months for running these websites? Mm-hmm. Like, again...
Yeah, that does seem crazy.
Yeah, 29 months seems a little long for a nonviolent offense, and I'm not trying to say that what he did was right, but there needs to be another way of dealing with the situation. Yeah. Like, we should only put violent, dangerous people away behind bars. For everyone else, we should try to rehabilitate them, right? And by the way, we should be rehabilitating in our prisons as well. I'm not trying to
Which is, again, a philosophical difference we have that
right.
many in this country do not agree with.
Right. Right. I mean, remember, 65% of people in the United States agree with the death penalty.
Yeah.
So I think that we're in the minority when it comes to the whole notion of let's be nice to our prisoners and rehabilitate them, because we want them to be productive members of society.
And not step out and kill another person.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so you brought up there needs to be a solution. There is a solution, and the solution is for the movie industry to create a reasonable, affordable, sensible way for people to get the content. And that's not some crazy pipe dream. Like, why does anyone pay for Netflix when they can just pirate the movies? Mm-hmm. They pay for Netflix because it's not insanely overpriced and it's convenient. Just put everything on Netflix or Vudu or Amazon or Hulu or whatever, and people will stop pirating if they don't have to pay, you know, $18 plus popcorn to watch a movie. Mm-hmm. If you make it reasonable, people will respond reasonably and they'll stop pirating.
Well, also when you look at how expensive it is to go to the movies these days, and then you also look at stagnant wages, I mean, you kind of understand the perspective of the people that do pirate the material.